talk about the DDS modulator, which is basically an oscillator modulator that's designed to work with these DDS oscillators in their unique special functions that are provided by the wonderful world of digital magic. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. Okay, I just have DDS1 happening. We're not hearing DDS2. We don't have to. We will. I will mix it in when it becomes relevant. But for now, it's just this DDS1 sawtooth. Which I always find really lovely. Okay, so at the left side of the DDS modulator here, you will see LFO and envelope 1. Basically, they are just pitch modulation for the oscillators. So you'll notice this is the LFO. It's right now. There's a switch here that allows you to direct these modulations to either DDS1, DDS2, or both of them simultaneously. Plainly, it's set currently to both. But listen. What you have just learned is that the modulation that is happening seems to, it is the LFO's modulations are happening independently. So you don't have one LFO affecting all of the oscillator simultaneously. There are multiple LFOs that are not in sync with each other, which provides a lot of cool things, much more desirable than a single LFO affecting things. But so you can do sound design with this. As you could probably tell from that. But if we wanted to, we could assign the LFO just to oscillator 1. Which is a way to cause, pitch variation in one oscillator that isn't happening in the other, which, if slight enough, becomes a sort of detuning, which makes it beautiful. And of course, there are different settings you can have for the LFO, which we're not going to get into because we're not talking about the LFO yet. So this is really powerful, basically, is what it comes down to. That's just pushing up this one slider and you get that big, huge, wide sound. It's wonderful. But of course, it can also just be an irritating siren if we want it to be. There we can actually start to hear the benefit of the binaural situation in that the different, 2/6 voice sides are getting different information, and it's causing this swirling effect in a stereo field. If you're not listening in stereo, you're missing out. So that is weird and crazy and delightful. Okay, we also have envelope 1, which here, let me set this to something. Now, there are two things I want to point out in regard to this envelope that is now controlling the pitch of both of the oscillators. Let's just have it control let's have it control the second pitch, the pitch of DDS2. Why is this relevant? Well, if we go back to DDS2 and we put it into sync, you're going to get your typical sync sound. Now, when I demonstrated it, I was just whipping the tune knob back and forth. But this is how you would use this part of the DDS modulator to get that traditional sync sound that we love so well. Another thing about using envelope for pitch, of course, it's really easy to make a siren sound. And that is very cool. I hope you can hear that in the stereo. There's a lot to this, and a lot of synthesizers, especially vintage synthesizers, don't allow you an envelope or an envelope to control your pitch, which is really useful. And granted, we have it set to an extreme setting right now, but you can do things, well, it's how you would make bass drums, and percussion becomes more of a possibility when you have an envelope to control the frequency of an oscillator. So it's really crucial if you're going to do something other than just make sawtooth synth sounds, and it's an incredibly useful tool. I'm just screwing around, and we keep coming up with really beautiful things where the binaural aspect is demonstrated, and also you see the degree to which you can control these things. Keep in mind also attack transients, which are always really cool. So I have this little ridiculous thing going on where the attack of envelope 1 is causing the frequency of these oscillators to jump at first. But it really adds a lot of character to a timbre just to have that happen. It becomes less stupid when you hear it in the context of a sound, especially if you have it just going to one of the oscillators. You can add a lot of percussiveness to it, some intensity. And of course, using the sustain, you can always set the pitch that you will arrive at, which doesn't have to be the note that you're originally playing. There's a lot you can do just with this one function in the envelope. Super powerful. I've already been talking about it too long, but I can't help myself, apparently.